Welcome to the channel. Another video, just a quick breakdown of what's happened, midweek breakdown, how my weekly analysis went. And so far, the GJ analysis of bullish buys was incorrect. Tried to take a trade around this area, got stopped out, and as you can see, we are now pushing to the downside. This trade was a bit silly because it wasn't. I tried to kind of modify my edge in that moment in time because I felt like I was going to miss the opportunity, so it could have been avoided. I didn't follow my rules. I paid the price. It is what it is. It is NFP weekend, FOMC, so I'm not been looking into EU too much, to be honest. May see what happens on Thursday. May trade out tomorrow, but if not, most likely won't touch this play. US30, I did see an opportunity to the downside. With this position though, it wasn't the best, just due to there was jolts news, and I don't trade before any high impact news, so I understood that this trade only made sense if my limit was set around here. Sorry. But because the news, I had to wait for that to pass, and by the time I did get in, I got in here, stop was here, and the trade just didn't even make sense. Ended up closing at break even. But what I learned from this was, even when there's high impact news and I've got a zone in mind, I should already understand that if the news doesn't push through my area as it could, because it's high volatility news, I should understand what lot size I should be able to trade. So I should understand what lot size I can enter manually, and this trade still makes sense, if you know what I mean. I should have understood, when I did the maths, it was 0.3 on my live account, and I think 3 on my Ftmo or something like that, and that would have made it I would have got near enough 3%, which I was looking for, 2.9, 2.97. That's what I was looking for. But because I had to then see that what was going off after 3 o'clock, 5 past 3, 10 past 3, I'm trying to calculate risk for my live, for my funded. By the time I've actually calculated it, I ended up entering here and it was just rubbish. And then I'm it was a decent move, but because I didn't plan it as good as I could have, basically, put it short. I needed to plan my trade and trade the plan, and I didn't plan good enough. I should have. But now in future, I will have a plan. Okay, there's news, but if such and such happens, and I'm able to get in after the news, what's the lot size that makes sense, instead of me calculating it and then missing out, because then it didn't make sense anymore. So that's that. So basically, it was a good setup. I fumbled it. It is what it is. So that's why I'm just feeling like this week I'm down 1%. These are the type of weeks where clearly my bias isn't the best. It's NFP, it's FOMC, there's a lot of news. So either back in days, I would force trades and blow funded accounts or just lose a lot of money, whereas now I'm just it's just one of them weeks. It is what it is. It's not that deep in a sense, you know what I mean? And then with how I've traded, I can be mad, yeah, but I can't, because it's not something that I've experienced in a sense. I've gone through it now, so I know what to do with it in this scenario, whereas before I haven't really experienced that, in a sense, where the trade maybe I have, but the trade still makes sense, where this trade did not make sense when I entered here. So now I'm having to look more into it, how can I make this setup? I understood price was gonna fall, but how can I get the most out of it? How can I get the most potential out of this position, out of this idea? And then now I've understood, okay, there's news, there's your zone. Just understand, after news, if it's anywhere near the 50% of this area, have this lot size, you would have made some good gains. That's it, move on. For US30 now, potentially we might fall down into this daily fair value gap, but I don't really want to be in any trades before FOMC. And then I'm looking at Bitcoin, which at this moment in time I was expecting some sort of bullish shift, but we not got that yet, so it doesn't really matter. I'm expecting it, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So potentially we could fall down to here. I'm just waiting for Bitcoin basically to come into a nice area, whether it's this weekly low, whether it's this 90,000 area, and shift the momentum to the upside, shifting market structure, breaker structure, whatever you want to call it, and then from there I'll be looking for buys. I thought potentially it could have been from this daily fair value gap. It's not looking like it is. So with that being said, potentially it could be a sell here, but I don't want to trade this for FMC. Down here, it's not even worth it as well. It's not worth it. So yeah, we've just been sitting on our hands for Bitcoin as well, waiting to see if I can get that bullish shift. More time it won't. It could, in fact, it probably still can happen because the day's not ended. We swept, we shift this, and we could push to the upside. But right now, I'm just sitting on my hands. We'll push it to the downside. Could I have gotten any sales or anything like that to the downside? No. So yeah, if I don't get anything on Bitcoin, most likely my week will be done. So, or I may check, depending where US30 is tomorrow, I might try to get a cheeky one down into here. But if it's already at my target, at my draw of liquidity, nah, well, I'm not gonna just not. I'm look at the chart, but if it shifts and gives me something to go to the upside, then I'll take it. But it has to happen on Thursday. NFP, I'm not trading nothing. I'm not trading GJ. I'm not trading EU. I'm not trading YM. Nah, Bitcoin moves crazy as well. NFP, and I'm not trading Bitcoin. So once Friday comes up, done. Obviously after that, after NFP, possibly you could trade something. But taking a trade before, nah, not me. Yeah, I even learned like you can't even take a trade with GJ when NFP is going mad. But yeah, short week. So far down 1%. Not that deep. Could have got it back yesterday if I would have closed this position here. I decided to try hold it. It is what it is. Yeah, that's everything that needs to be said. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you are, remember to like, subscribe, comment.